Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here, and we're going to be demonstrating how our workhorse multiplayer team is also useful in Survivor. This is with the new League of Assassins gear just come out, and this has really made Batgirl a hugely useful member as opposed to just a member for the support bar and to come in a pinch.
Yeah.
So, if you aren't aware, what the League of Assassins gear does, or what we're concerned about anyways, is the 40% extra damage to special ones, which is kind of meh because it's on the lowest possible damage, but it's still a little bit of extra damage because we're primarily using our special ones. But the really important part is the 50% splash damage on special one.
Right, so the way we've got her geared up, oh, too bad. I would have liked Contain Suit Doomsday to be at the beginning. Now, we're not actually taking advantage of her because Containment Suit Doomsday is at the beginning, and he's going to regenerate a few times. So let's take him out like this. With Raven, each hit will suck up one of his unless he blocks. Alright, he won't block this one, so that should be enough to bring on Regime Superman.
There we go.
Ooh, beauty! Oh, now the only thing is, because she wasn't second, we don't see the benefit of Splash Dash. But you can also see that she's still doing well over 100,000 with her special one.
Yeah, so 135,000, and then 50% of that would be well over 60, yeah.
Yeah, 67,000. 67 splash damage. That's better than the non-crit on Ares, and crit on Ares is like 90-something thousand. You can't really compare to that when it crits.
Yeah, so...
But he only crits half the time.
That's really efficient. So you'll know basically our loadout. If you've watched previously, we have
It crashed.
Oh, crap. Okay, we're back from the crash. We skipped all the loading time.
Save you the agony of having to watch it.
So as I was saying, you actually wouldn't be able to fully tell what their gear loadout is because we have changed it based off of the new gear that's been coming out. But we are using the Cloak of Destiny.
Necessary, right? Because that's the 300 boost.
On stun, yeah.
Right, and that's 300 boost after you've taken count crit chance and crit damage.
And then we're actually using LexCorp Gauntlet, and...
Right, the higher crit chance on special one, 40%, plus the stun chance. Now we give up the special one boost, but that's okay.
Yeah, and we're using the League of Assassins blade.
Right, for the splash damage, which is sort of the whole point.
Which is, yeah, ridiculous. What makes her go from, like, a useful support character and pinch hitter to, like, really, really overpowered in her own right. If you could probably actually formulate a team around her. Oh, okay, so this was one of the really fast ones. This is like 5 or 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Because the swap in stuns, and that does exactly 1 damage, and when they have exactly 1 health, the swap in kills them.
Now, when you're playing with this team in multiplayer, like I said, this is sort of an exercise in playing our multiplayer team, which isn't nearly as good for Survivor, but if you're just going to level 9 or Battle 9 and that's it, that's fine. But what's cool is when you're in multiplayer and the first person's got 4th world gear, like all 4th world gear, that's even better. Because what it does is it guarantees they don't get knocked out by Ares no matter how high the damage is.
So they're not allowed to block, and then when Batgirl comes in, the ridiculous amount of splash damage means that the other 2 people are essentially coming in with like basically 0 health.
Right.
Especially if Ares crits.
Right, so Ares crits, he does 90% splash damage to the guys.
90k, yeah.
And then Batgirl comes in and does another 70k. That's amazing.
So unless you have like 160,000 health, which I'm not even sure if that's possible. Is it? Would it be possible with like fully maxed out like only health gear?
I think Mortal Kombat X Scorpion might come close. If you fully augmented him, because he's got the passive that gives him bonus health, the way Deathstroke has. And then you give him a health booster, maybe. I haven't done the numbers.
But anyways, it's essentially like almost insta-kills, right? Like the battle is those 2 specials and then any hits.
Yeah, and part of the point somebody made earlier with our Survivor thing with the bronze team was it takes a long time, and you're right, it does. So part of the reason why we've done this is because our multiplayer team is geared towards fast finishes. Now they're not geared towards going very far in Survivor because of all the levels that have Special 2 blocked. Like you can't do Special 2, and this is sort of built around Ares Special 2.
Yeah. So this is meant to get you fast to fight 9, but not really much further.
Yeah, and beyond that too, even with a really good team, it takes a long time. It takes a while to finish it, so it's almost not worth it.
To go past fight 9.
Now let's see how much splash damage you can.
Oh, it didn't crit. That's pretty bad. That's okay. So it's a 50% crit chance plus a 40% crit chance. So those are applied separately, so that's not actually 90% crit chance like it would seem. It's like more like 75. Or something like that, right?
And you might have noticed that we don't normally use Raven, and we were calling this our MP team, but it's not the exact composition, because to me, our MP team is basically Ares Batgirl.
Yeah.
And then, right now, we've been auditioning other people, we like Killing Joker in it, but as far as Survivor, we want to actually get to level 9, or Battle 9, so we can't just put a kind of chump in there, we actually have to have somebody who can carry her own weight. Now, the other option would have been somebody who generates power. So then, Ares, we could actually use Ares like that, drop in our power person as a tank to build up power, and then we can bring back in Ares and Batgirl when they've built up enough. That would work too. Killing Joker obviously doesn't, because in order to take advantage of his passive, he'd be knocked out, and then he'd be useless for the rest of the fights.
Yeah.
So I think typically, what was it, the Survivor run on Bronze? If you're trying to get as far as you can, it took what, like a half hour last time? Something like that? So really, you should be able to finish this in well under 15 minutes to get to level, or Battle 9, Fight 9. Ooh, more splash damage, lovely. Ooh, no crit. So
That's another kind of jip. Okay, so it looks like it's critting low, and there is one issue we had with it where it actually where it wasn't critting at all for a little while, and it was weird when we reorganized, when we moved the gear around, it started working again.
Yeah.
But there was actually like a zero crit rate. We used her special one a bunch of times and it never crit.
Yeah. But see, that was 70,000 splash damage, right, on the guy who's left.
Which is huge.
Crazy huge. Can you imagine that? And I mean, the beauty really is that because there's not enough room on Ares to have more crit chance on Special 2, so we're really limited to the 50% that we can augment him with. But that also means, because we dropped both the hook and chaining, we dropped her nanocarbon mask, we have to rely on the crit chance from the Lex Core gear and her own sort of built-in, which we've maxed out now. Once we decided we were going to use Batgirl like this, then we spent all our crit chance to max her out, and now we're going to have to save up again to work on whatever next character we're going to play around with.
For sure. That's
yeah,
going
but
to be
she is
interesting.
wicked. Alright, so this is a problem. If I get my Special 2 first, I'm good, I'm golden, and if I don't, then I'm just kind of screwed.
There we go. Oh. The healing means that this is not going to be a 5-second fight. But still pretty good.
8 seconds. That's alright. Oh, crit. Yeah, that's...
I wonder how much more taxing it would be on their processing power to have it be, instead of like a every however long, if they had it be like an almost constant stream of health regen.
Yeah, that... We noticed that a little bit, right? When we were playing, that stuff would really slow down in just the fight, like in terms of the frames going.
Yeah.
When we had a lot of those fourth row gear on in play on our team and on the opposite team, the multiplayer.
Which is interesting, right?
Yeah, it is fun. I mean, I guess we should be a little bit impressed that Injustice is running across so many different platforms and running relatively smoothly on a device as old as ours. That's only Android 4.1.2, which I guess in technology terms to me is like ancient, right?
I think the graphics are probably its real main, like, difficulty. Like, the calculations just on the random number generator, for all the damage and stuff, right? Within certain, or, it's not even really a random number generator, is it? It's standard. So the calculation shouldn't be too taxing, the, like, random number generator when you're attacking for crits and stuff, right? Should be relatively, like, easy for the system to do.
I think so.
I think it really is the graphics, and the graphics put it to, like, close to its limit, and all the calculation just kind of push it slightly over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're probably right.
Because you see where all the longest load times are tend to be where you're loading in an entire stage worth of graphics, or when you're trying to, like, even just load gear cards, right?
Yeah.
All the data is actually already there and pretty ready, right? Which is how a lot of the glitches actually happen. Because the data's there before the actual, like, pictures are.
Right.
And with the pictures comes the actual, like, button prompt.
I don't know if... I wasn't totally paying attention. Did you notice? Did we get any extra last lap tickets, or this was one of those really dry runs?
I don't think we've gotten any so far.
Yeah, so
I've been kind of half looking, yeah, and I don't... We got just past one for, like, the first or second one or something, right? Where we were really close, but we haven't gotten any bonus. Boop.
Good night, boss. Alright, so what was that? I wasn't really paying attention to the clock, and now because it crashed, we're not able to track the time so good on the...
It's been like 11 and a half minutes, roughly.
Of this video?
This is... The new one's 10:16.
Oh, okay, so that was not bad.
So the old one's an extra minute and a bit. I don't know.
Just a reminder, because people have been asking, so how do you bank your tickets? Well, why we got 31? Because we cash out. And at the cash out stage where everything's rotating around the haha stuff, then you just shut it down and swipe it out of your list, and then you start with the whatever tickets you have the next time you enter Survivor. That was fun. I love the splash damage. I love the League of Assassins, the knives on Batgirl.
Yeah, definitely worth getting.
So thanks for watching, guys.
See you guys next time. Komoda.